Well, I just finished up filming a live legal Q&A, and we were talking today a bit about arbitration and mediation. Somebody had a question that we answered live during the broadcast today, and I figured, it would be a good opportunity to sort of delve into that topic a little bit more with a video like this. So today we're going to talk about the difference between a mediation and an arbitration. For those of you who don't know, my name is Peter Lamont. I'm a business and personal law attorney, and I make videos like this so that you guys get a better understanding of how the law works, and I think it helps because you get a better understanding of your rights and your obligations. So that's why we do it. If you head on over to our channel, if you're watching this and it's not on the channel, you'll see that we have a number of, I think almost 100, if not more, videos from our Understanding the Law series to some of these law basic series that we do. So head on over there, check it out. You can also look at our various social media pages. It's got all the information that you might need. And I encourage you to subscribe to the channel because you're going to be kept updated on all of the things that are developing. But let's get back to today's topic, which is the difference between mediation and arbitration. So they sound similar. And in many ways they are similar. So in a mediation, for example, and we're going to use a simple example of two people in a dispute. They're going to go and they're going to see a mediator. And a mediator is an impartial third party who is going to sit down with these individuals and going to help them work out the dispute, hopefully to resolve the matter in an amicable fashion, so as to avoid the hassles and expense and the time wasting of litigation, because litigation, as you guys all know, can be extremely time consuming and very expensive. So a mediator sits down with these two parties who are at odds, whether it's a business dispute, they're business partners, or it's a husband and wife and they're going to get divorced. However it is, the mediator will make some recommendations and try to make some suggestions, and that's going to help the two people in the dispute work out their matter. Now, the key factor in a mediation is that the mediator, whatever the mediator says, is basically guidance and opinion. It's not legally binding, right? So it's not an order that the mediator is issuing that can then be enforced through the court. It's more of an informal way of guiding the two parties to reach an amicable resolution. So that has a big, significant difference between what an arbitration is, even though some of what happens in a mediation is similar to an arbitration. So an arbitration, let's say again, we've got these two business partners that want to get out of the partnership and they're in this dispute. But now instead of going to the mediator, they go to an arbitrator. Same setup. One guy with a dispute, the other guy with a dispute, and an impartial third party. The third party could be a judge, a retired judge, it could be a lawyer, it could be a counselor, whoever it is. So the difference here in the arbitration is that the two parties are going to submit documents and evidence to the arbitrator, and they're going to argue their position to the arbitrator. After he or she reviews the materials and hears the testimony and the statements, that arbitrator is going to issue an award or decision. And whatever that arbitrator awards or decides becomes legally binding. So if the arbitrator, in the case of the business partners, rules that partner A is entitled to $100,000 and partner B is entitled to $10,000, once that award is entered, that becomes legally enforceable. And you can go to court and you can try to enforce that arbitration award. So arbitration is binding, legally binding, where mediation is non-binding. That is the primary difference between the two. It can get confusing because certain states, they have these programs in the courts that are called non-binding arbitration. And if you have any questions about any of that sort of state-specific stuff that you guys might have seen out there and you're confused over, I encourage you to give me a call, 973-949-3770, or send me an email, plamont@peterlamontesq.com, and I'd be happy to discuss that state-specific issue with you, and I'll explain to you how it works. But for today's purposes, the general difference between mediation and arbitration is mediation is non-binding, arbitration is legally binding. So be careful when you enter into a contract or agreement with somebody, see if there's an arbitration provision, and know that you're going to, if you have a dispute, have to go through arbitration, and that Arb award or ruling is going to be legally binding. One quick thought: people often say, well, can I appeal an Arb award? Only limited circumstances, like 1% of the time, really, can you appeal an Arb award. And really, in order to do that, you've got to be able to prove that the arbitrator was somehow non-neutral, that he was biased to one side. Otherwise, generally speaking, it is extremely difficult to appeal an Arb award. So you have to be aware of that when you're entering into agreements, either as a business or a consumer. So that's the difference. Again, questions, please feel free to call me. Also, feel free to download our app, which is available on the iTunes Store. It's for iPad and iPhone. It's free, and it allows you to send in your legal questions directly to one of our attorneys, and we send you an answer back via email. So we thank the people that have downloaded it. We've been receiving a lot of questions, and I'm really happy to see that you guys are making use of the app. It also has other things like ability to view our entire video catalog and to stream live our Understanding the Law radio program. So I'd like to thank you for that. I also want to remind you that your feedback and your comments are so important, because I want to make sure that we're providing you with the best content and the best guests on Understanding the Law radio, and I can only do that if I receive your feedback. We do this purely as social outreach, as a public service. We don't even monetize our videos, because this is not about making money. This is about educating people as to some of the mysteries and intricacies of the law. Because, we're all citizens of the U.S. We all need to know what our rights and obligations are. And I'm hopeful that these videos help convey that and explain that to you. But I don't know unless you guys leave some feedback. So if you get a second, I would really appreciate it. Maybe give me a thumbs up or post a comment. Let me know what other topics you'd like to see, other questions you'd like answered, and I'd be happy to get some of those videos on for you. For those of you who have left feedback, I greatly appreciate it, and I know that even a few minutes of your time is valuable, and the fact that you'll watch the video and then comment, it's greatly appreciated. So I thank you for that. So that's it for today. Any questions or comments on there, contact me via the information that I gave out a few minutes ago, and I'll be happy to deal with your specific issue. Until next time, I'd like to thank you for watching, and remember that there's power in understanding the law.